Okay, guys, purpose of this video is for the onboarding pass off system. So, guys, here's what's going on. I forgot something. I forgot something. All right, guys. So, purpose of this video is I want to talk about the quick onboarding pass off. So I'll try to keep this under 3 minutes. Basically, what goes on is that there is a huge amount of steps that have to happen when we onboard a client. If you're looking at the client checklist, I'm in this document now. There's tons of stuff. You have to double check the billing was done, profile information, putting in the attendance tracker, LEM tracker, Will J to Love. So what we are going to do is, since we cannot or rather it's inefficient for us to actually have an office manager in the building. We are going to scale this system back so we can let our outbound call center manager do it. She has, the reason that I'm doing this is she has the efficiency to do it. She actually is responsible for the KPIs at the end of the week. Instead of passing it through three hands, we'll pass it through one hand. And there's not 10 different languages. I got one person in charge of. When something's messed up, I got one person to talk to. When something is going right, I got one person to talk to. It all just streams through one hand. It will increase her hours, getting her closer to her goal, and then at the same time it will relieve the stress that we have to do to already a situation where we are very short staffed. So ultimately it just creates a lot of efficiency. In order for her to do her job, there's going to be some pieces that have to happen here. I'm going to go through the workstation setup in the protocol, and it should take about another 2 minutes. Okay, so basically, workstation setup. In order to get this pass off done, you're going to need the client's signed contract, an iPhone, and your email opened. Protocol. I got 3 before you start. I'll go ahead and blow this up a little bit. Before you start, make sure the contract is completely filled out. If you look in the client checklist that is located in the folder, everything at this top piece needs to be done and kind of laid out and ready to go. So again, salesman is responsible for this top piece. If it is not checked off, that means it is not done, even though it is done. I repeat, if it is not checked off, it is not done. It needs to be checked off and done. From there, number 2, salesman is responsible for the billing. Ruby is not responsible for billing clients. Key emphasis with this, if a client comes in on Friday and wants to pay, and if we send that over to Ruby and Ruby say she's sick or on vacation and she doesn't work till Monday, that's 3 days that go by with money that could have been in our account. So again, the salesman is responsible for the billing on the spot before they leave. This is nothing different. This does not get passed to the outbound call center manager, and if I find out that it is not done, there will be problems. So Ruby will rather be double checking to make sure they were billed. And I do understand mistakes happen. I'm honestly responsible for a lot of people not getting billed in my 5-year tenure. So that's that. And then, so big point with that. And then number 3, all on-ramps must be established by the coach so the outbound call center manager can book. So Ruby will be responsible for scheduling the on-ramps, but the coach is responsible for identifying when the coach and when that person can set that up. Okay, so you'll have to communicate that with Ruby so she can get that scheduled. So that's before you start. Quick system. Check the tasks in the client checklist inside the folder. We just talked about that. Take 2 pictures of the first page of the contract. Okay. If you notice, I said date to email, type of training box. I'll go through this in detail in a second. And then you're going to send Ruby the email, and then you're going to file the folder. Okay. So here's my sample of this. Actually, well, I'll just kind of go through it. So the subject will always say, please onboard our new FEOCO to this location. Ruby is working at 2 locations. If you do not put this, let me backtrack. This template needs to be it. I don't want to see your own version of the template. I don't like wasting my time. It needs to be the template that I created unless you got a better one. And I'm always cool for people to create something better and more organized than what I have because I do not know all the answers. So this template has to be used, meaning you actually need to open this document and copy and paste one of these 3. And again, if you don't put north and south, Ruby's not going to know. It's going to throw my KPIs off and things will not be very good. Onboarding body sample 1, body sample 2, body sample 3. I actually changed these numbers. That's a typo. So basically, you got a couple situations that can happen. Ruby, I've successfully billed So billed or scheduled. So if Ruby's going to double check, she needs to know if the money went through or it's going through. Rodney Garrett, who is joining the bootcamp CrossFit, she needs to know what they're doing. And then the amount of money that it is. Ruby will be responsible for updating the KPI tracker, so you got to put the number. He has 3 on-ramps that are scheduled for the following. I made a nice little note for the FAO. Ruby, the FAO, which is the meeting in which we convert that FEO to a CO. You'll go ahead and schedule that in person, and then you'll kind of rock and roll from there. Ruby will schedule in text magic. So that's sample 1, FEO on-ramp. So then you can get a situation where there's an FEO with no on-ramp. That's a person that's just doing the $100 package, and they're not doing the on-ramps with it. It's just $100. I actually take that off. That's actually $100, not $200. So the FEO no on-ramp. That's that. Don't forget to schedule this in text magic. So that's a simple one. Then you got a CO. With this CO, there can be a couple different instances. Ideally, it's 150. But sometimes you get people that want to do the 300 for the 300 for our package is $300 for month 1 and then 150 every month after. It's really one package. It's kind of like a FEO that is a CO. So if that's the case, I mean, salesmen have enough autonomy to add the on-ramp sessions if necessary. Please don't make me make another script on that. I know you guys are highly autonomous. And then last thing, let's talk about this piece. So when you're taking a picture of this contract for Ruby, first of all, let's acknowledge something. Pyro, stop. I'm Pyro, stop. Let's acknowledge something clearly. Our clients do not know how to write. I can't read this. This looks like chicken scratch. It looks horrible. So what you got to do is I took 2 pictures, not 1 but 2. If you look at the top of the system, it literally says from date to email address. So date all the way to email address, Facebook, Instagram name. Yeah, from date to email address is picture 1. Picture 2 is, I said, the type of training box. Type of training box goes at the bottom. What happens is if you do that, I mean, like in this situation, I actually took the whole picture. You can see the bottom. Ruby can clearly see that, but then at the top, it's like chicken scratch. Like I can't read that. And I don't even think this writing is that bad. It's just hard to see. So then Ruby has to blow it up and magnify it and do all that. So again, I need 2 pictures taken, not 1. This at the top and the 1 at the bottom. And I'll even put, 1 picture is not acceptable. So 1 picture is not acceptable for that. And guys, that's really the system. You send it over to Ruby. Ruby is responsible for the client checklist. These double boxes are hers. And guys, that's it. That is the onboarding system pass off. Quick system that will make a huge difference. Cut down on payroll. It will cut down on Adriana doing administration and increase Ruby's payroll, which is what I'm trying to do. So I think this is a really good system. I put everything in 1 person's hands, not 3 people's hands. And we can go from there. So thank you and have a good day.